Hello and welcome. My name is Reese, and this is the first video on a series covering Primal Conquest Dino Era. This is a free game available on the Google Play Store, and I believe the iOS Store. Playing it for probably about 8 to 10 months, maybe a little bit longer, and that's been in its beta stage. It is still in beta, I believe. However, it is launching soon, and that will be worldwide. They have been opening new servers and sort of introducing it on a server by server level. There are definitely some topics that I wanted just to cover, sort of things that you should really know beforehand, before giving this game a go. And not in a bad sense, just in a transparency sense, because it can give them a unfair expectation on what to expect from the game, as you can see from the reviews. Misleading ads, which I can't deny. But yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about in this first video. So the first thing I just wanted to go over is the images. The UI, in terms of the icons and a lot of the fonts, they're pretty spot on. The layout is a little bit different in game, and that's, as you can imagine, like this is pretty bare bones. So in the actual game, there's a lot more icons, and there's information everywhere, and so they've had to make it fit essentially. So what we're seeing here is almost like early stages, like pre-development stages. This this is interesting, and the tower defense. So these modes do feature in the game, but they're nothing more than like a side mechanic. It plays one small role, and that is well, I'll get into that much later. But yeah, it's honestly like the tower defense in this game is probably like 10% max. So you can understand why people are going into the game with this, expectation that's just not being met. So with this image, so these dinosaurs are actually used in the game. So this one is called Fangi, and this one is just the plain Spinosaurus, I think. So fusing the dinosaurs, this feature is only used within the tower defense mode. It is exactly like that. However, this would just make a level 10 Fangi. It wouldn't cause the dino to completely change into a Spinosaurus. This image is actually fairly accurate. The building models are the same. I can actually tell what all of these buildings are, except this one is the arena. It's not the gold mine, so I'm not sure why they've done that. But this is accurate. And the only thing that's changed here is, again, the layout and the perspective of the camera. So things like that. Because obviously a game like this would really struggle to run on mobile. Like it's not realistic to the game, but you can, like, it is sort of like how a rally would work, except instead of these individual buildings, these would be other players' territories. But yeah, this is what I'm talking about, So you can get the message that I'm trying to portray. There are some very good aspects about the game. It's just they're not showing it to you. So that's the main topic of the video covered. So I just wanted to go over some of the controversy and the misinterpretation by them. But I'm sure they'll probably work on it down the line. At the moment, they're focusing, it seems, more so on the actual game rather than the marketing. So with that said, I now will jump in and load the game. For this series, running it on the BlueStacks emulator. Okay, and we are back. So here we are. So as you can see immediately, you'll recognize the models, but it's a very sort of scaled down perspective. If you've played games similar to sort of like city builders, civilization builders, sort of like Clash of Clans style games, or like Ebony, or I can't think of any others, but yeah, it follows a very traditional sort of game landscape. So there are a few things that I think are vital before you get started, and those are the recommended settings and the account security binding. My bad. So if you just go down into the bottom right here, you tap more and then tap settings. The main ones are, we have main settings here, and then we have the account tab, and then the character. Those are probably the main three that you're going to use. But for now, we're just going to go into the settings. And I would highly recommend you emulate these settings. So by default, I think frame rate and graphics are here. But through my personal testing and from the sort of like the vote from everyone else that I've asked on this, everyone agrees that it is worth putting the settings all the way up to ultimate on both frame rate and graphics, because the optimizations for the battery and performance on the lower settings, it just really isn't worth it. Like, you can really feel the difference in the gameplay experience, and you don't really reap any benefit from it. So I would recommend you just go all out on these two. The sound settings and vibration entirely optional. These two settings, I think, in map adjustments, by default they are unchecked. I would recommend that you check both of these. I'll explain in another video in more depth why. Okay, so those are, unfortunately, I would love more settings, but those are the main settings that I would recommend for now. And then if we go to the account tab, this is what we're aiming for. You want this to say account status safe. I think new players, it will probably say account status risky. So if we just hit user center and just wait for it to load, you probably won't see anything up here. It will just be like this will be clear. So this account is my farm account, and I've binded it to my Facebook. That's why we're seeing the Facebook icon here. So I can switch accounts by switching between my bindings here. So you can have a binding for Facebook, Twitter, and Google. And then to bind an account, as you can see, I have a check on my Facebook icon here, meaning that I've binded it using Facebook. So if by tapping bind account and then choosing one of these options, you can go ahead and bind your account. And I think you actually also get a small reward for doing so, like first time. Um, they just do that as a sort of like an incentive. I think that'll be it for this first video, because I've been rambling on for quite a while now. But yeah, so if there's anything to take away from this video, it would be, if you really want to give this game a go, don't even bother looking at the game images and the adverts. Just go in blind and see if you like the feel of it. So there is one more thing I just want to quickly add into this video, and that is how to change your name. So if you really want to stand out in this game and actually be someone, then yeah, the first thing you need to do is change your name. Changing your name in this game is really easy to do. You can get name changes within your alliance, and you can change your name as much as you want. So don't worry about, picking something that is going to be, permanent. To change your name, you would find your profile in the top left, and that will be your avatar. You pull up your profile, and then you'll see, so here you'll have S3 and then a load of numbers and letters. So you just hit the pencil icon. All new members, not members, all new players, sorry, will come with, you'll start with one of these by default. So you won't have to purchase your first name change. And then you just enter your name, and then it's as simple as that. And honestly, that is one of the most important steps, because, if you don't change your name, it's essentially impossible to differentiate you from everyone else. I mean, look. So if this video has been helpful, that's great. I'm really happy. Thank you. See you in the next one.